Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lala Zone. I am your host from the South Coast. I like jelly on toast. My name is Demon. That is that's a bit over the top, but as usual, I hope everybody's doing great. And may everyone, I mean everyone, win their 50-50. So, today, while I was chilling, I was playing a bit of solitaire. Listen, man, don't judge me, okay? I play pre-cell. It's not easy. uh, I started thinking about a few things with Wuthering Waves. One thing I have yet to see, really, kinda. I mean, there might be a few, but I haven't seen a whole lot of content creators talk about their favorite Tacet discords, or as we like to call them, echoes, right? And if they did, I apologize. I don't really get out much, but be that as it may, everyone's always going on about their favorite waifu, husbando, whatever the hell. That just sounds so ridiculous to me. So does waifu, but slash resonator and their favorite weapons. What about the TDs, man? I mean, they're kind of the whole reason why we even play the game, right? So I decided I'd whip up a list of 10 of my favorite TD slash echoes, just for fun, something to do. Because I'm not a drama channel. That's not what this channel's about, and I'm trying to stay away from it. But keep in mind, this list isn't based on the best or the most useful ones at all. It's basically it's based on their game, their design, how they look in game, and if I like them or not. Really, I mean, and there's no order to this list, just to be clear. So number one is not the best, neither is number 10 the worst. They can be 4 stars, they can be 1 stars. It really doesn't matter. It's got nothing to do with anything other than my own personal taste and what I like to see. Maybe even how I felt when I very first encountered them. So, enough of the yapping, but let's get to it, right? So, the first one on the list for me absolutely has to be Crownless. Now, that's not because he's the first TD we fight in the game, with the whole rover absorbing him to her hand and all that, but it was because he was the first one that I saw my friend Pixel Tree use in combat. Yeah, see, all this wuthering waves, can't talk, crap I'm hooked on now. Yeah, that's all Pixel's fault. Entirely. He got me into the game, and I've been playing it ever since 1.1, or no, 1.0, sorry, with the inland. While I was in one of his streams, he was playing WuWa, and he used a Crownless in a fight. I thought, wow, you can actually become the monster. That was the big thing for me. You don't really see that a whole lot. I was like, sign me up twice. I want all of it. I thought his design was cool, and who doesn't want to become a Crownless, right? I mean, or any of them really. You're using the souls of these creatures, or the quote unquote frequencies is what they say, to do battle with. That got me invested immediately. Number 2 is going to be none other than the Inferno Rider. Not just for his kick-ass design, by the way, but for the feeling of dread I had when I got to the part where I had to fight him. I'm not ashamed to admit it right now. I'll tell you firsthand, he stomped me bad. I mean, I held my own for as long as I could, but yeah, he beat the brakes off me. But you know, I did manage to get him in the end, obviously, or else I'd still be fighting him right now and crying. The Infire. Wow, get the entire fight is really cool at the very beginning. He's kind of the first boss you fight. The music. Look, man. I'm an old school metalhead, Slayer, you know, Megadeth, to a very small degree, Metallica, Master of Puppets, Ride the Lightning. Enough said, right? And then of course, you know, later on it was Cannibal Corpse and Morbid Angel and things like that. But the music in it sparked that interest. I got pumped up. It made me want to kick his ass even more. But you know, my only real complaint with him, with using him in combat, is sometimes his rider form will trigger instead of his attack mode, and it really doesn't matter. It seems to be kind of arbitrary. Even though I press my key lightly, it's recognized for some odd reason as me holding it sometimes. So, like I said, I'll go to do his attack, and he'll like just we're gonna go over here and not fight. I don't know if he's running or what. I mean, he's still a badass. Number 3 is gonna be a bit weird for some people, but you know, I really dig the carapace. The design is just really cool to me. It's something about a TD trying to mimic a car and getting stuck somewhere between animal and machine. It does it for me. You know, it's kind of creepy if you think about it. It's almost got like this body horror-esque vibe to it in a way. And, you know, as you can probably guess by the others in the list, I'm a huge horror movie fan. My absolute favorite just happens to be John Carpenter's 1981 masterpiece, The Thing. For all you old school anime fans, the equivalent to that would kind of be like Akira, with all the body horror and how Tetsuo morphs and changes. It's really disturbing if you really get down to think about it. But Carapace sort of reminds me of that, because it's imitating a form, but it's not perfect. It's somewhere trapped in the middle, and it utilizes what it has to its advantage. And it's just a really cool design in my book. Now, I might catch a little bit of sissy points for this one, but you know what? I don't care. I'll own it. Number 4 has got to be the Hortoise. I mean, think about it. Who wouldn't love a disco turtle? Matter of fact, I'll go on record and say, if you don't at least like the Hortoise a little bit, you got no soul. And you can get right the hell out of here, because, yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, it's even cool because you get to save some of them from Dreadmane bullies in some of the side missions or quests or whatever. And on one of the islands, I think it's if I remember correctly, it's the island that has the Tower of Adversity on it. There's a guy who's sitting on a chair just hanging out with one of them. I think his name is the Hortoise's name is Slow or something like that. I can't remember. But I love it, man. I think it's little details like that where you realize that these TDs are not, at least the ones who try to replicate animals, are not as bad as you would think. And you know, especially with Hortoises, it's probably more a territorial thing. Number 5 definitely goes to the Fey Ignis. They're just super cool in design. They have some sweet effects to them. They wear masks that resemble the ones from the carnival. As a matter of fact, I think that's their actual head. I'm not sure, but or their face, but they're really, really cool. There's really no way to describe them as an animal either. Like, I guess the closest would be a fox, maybe, because they're kind of slender and they're long, but they're not like a cat and they're not like a dog. But foxes kind of resemble both cat and dog in the same way. They have like the mannerisms of cats, but they're shaped like dogs, like small dogs. You know, and that's really cool. But you know, and if you just sit and watch them, when there's a group of the Fey Ignis, they look kind of like they're playing, like they're just goofing around having fun. Now, listen, they're a bit mischievous too, just like a fox. If you remember, we had to rescue, I think it was Lottie Lost or Diggy Dug or somebody like that, from a few of them in one of Phoebe's stories. So they're not all of them are nice, you know. They're not all puppies and kittens about it, you know. So number 6 is Jiwei, hands down. Jiwei's presence in the game was massive, and I honestly couldn't wait to get him as an echo, especially when watching Pixel Tree fight him and stuff, and play as him, because I think he had Jinsei. So, but unfortunately, since I don't have Jinsei, I lost her due to I ran out of astrites and her banner expired basically. So I wasn't able to I got Jinsei, or I mean, sorry, idiot. I just said I didn't get her. I got Jeji, but I didn't get Jinsei. And that's my own fault. I should have just pulled for Jinsei and whatnot. But I figured, you know, hey, if I get Jeji now, then when I get Jinsei, she'll be worth it, right? But yeah, but Kuro decided, yeah, your plan sucks. We're not going to go with it. We're just going to do what I want to do. But so I can't actually use him, but they're still incredibly well designed. The detail that went into Jiwei is really, really cool. It's a real treat to admire if you actually look at him. I just wish I you know, my only complaint with him, them, they, whatever the hell, is I just wish they weren't such a sissy when you fight them, because they're always trying to fly away. I mean, come on, man, take it like a dragon, brother. Take that whooping, you know. Look, you're gonna get your licks in, and you'll be back. Trust me. You know, number 7. Speaking of dragons, one of the best designed TDs in the entire game, in my opinion, has to be Dragon of Dirge. The fact that he's kind of a skeleton, but not, yeah, that is legit awesome. I haven't used him, so I don't know what his echo skill is like. But when fighting him, I have a bit of a challenge, because he always gets me with those underground tail spike things that he does. The energy waves are kind of easy to avoid, but I always get hit by at least one of them spikes. Either way, it doesn't matter. He's probably the most unique TD in the game. Nothing even comes close to how he looks. He's just awesome. Now, number 8, hands down, without a doubt, is probably overall my most favorite. Actually, he is my most favorite, and that is Mephis. All forms. Thundering, Tempest, Nightmare, doesn't matter. He's a badass. If there was one singular thing that drew me into playing WuWa, it would be Mephis. He looks like a legit monster. He looks dead. Like he looks kind of like, in my opinion anyway, he looks like a combination of what a demon would look like if it possessed a zombie. If you look at how he kind of lumbers at first, and then when you get to actually fight him, he just stands up straight. And he's got this real menacing vibe about him where you're doing damage to him, but he's just no selling it all the way. Like, he's just walking. He's just walking in around you. And you're like beating on him, and he's like, "Yeah, this is nothing. This doesn't hurt. You're tickling me right now." But yeah, he's hands down my favorite, with maybe one exception. I'll tell you about that one in a minute. Number 9 is, in my opinion, it's Light Crusher. I mean, where do I even begin? He was the biggest bully a-hole when I very first ran into them. Honestly, yeah, I'll admit it. The one you have to fight as a daily was the first time I thought I was not going to be able to get my daily done. Essentially what happened is he kept drifting outside of his combat area. He was taking damage and he was getting close to death, but then he would either run back to his area or he would respawn. And as such, when he did that, he would be completely healed. And it happened twice in a row until I managed to finally keep him inside his area, because he likes to bounce around and he will chase you. Once I got him in his area, I laid down some righteous fury on him and took him out. But yeah, that was the first daily that I thought I might not be able to do this, because I was still early on in the game. Geez, I think I was like level 40. That's character level 40. I really love his almost saber-toothed tiger look and the coloring, because he's got that green and yellow to him. I just love that combo. But when you get down to it, his phantom skin is on a completely different level. He looks really menacing, you know, and he's friggin' massive too. It's like, Jesus, is that what a real tiger looks like? Pass. Okay, so number 10. Remember when I mentioned there was one other TD I considered my favorite from Memphis? Well, for obvious reasons, it has to be Lorelei. I can give you 2 reasons why too. Haha, but you know, I'm not gonna get into it, but you get it. And it's not even based on her design, really. I mean, come on, super hot waifu TD. Come on, I'll take 2. And actually, thank you, Kuro, because we got a variation of her with the phantom skin. That, yeah. Woohoo. But one thing I do want to do before closing out, I want to make an honorable mention. Now, look, I know he's not a TD, but I have to include Jian's Qinglong, the spirit dragon that comes out of his spear. He's awesome. I mean, he is incredible. He changes size, comes from Jian's spear. The big win in my book. Now, I had a small list of others, but this video is already long enough. So, you know, me yammering and all that. But what do you think, man? I mean, what are your favorites? Do you have any favorites, or do you just not even think about it? You're like, no, these are fodder for my dominion over everything, you know, or you know, let me know in the comments, you know, who your favorites are. And are any of your favorites in this list? Like I said, remember, this is not a definitive list. This is just what I like in the game, and they're not in any real order. I whipped up a list, and there you go. There's no wrong answers. I ain't trying to bully one. There ain't no bullying here at all. Give me what you got. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, tickle the like button for me, please. If you enjoy my content, please feel free to subscribe, because even though I'm not doing this for money, it's, you know, getting the views is motivation to make me want to keep doing it. Because, you know, if you're not motivated to do something, you're not going to do it, right? And yeah, anyways, and tomorrow I won't be doing anything. There's going to be a delay in what I'm doing with videos because I got to go to the dentist tomorrow. They're going to rip a ton of teeth out of my head, and then I'm probably gonna, I'm gonna be sleeping for a couple days. But we'll see what happens. Maybe I can, because I'm missing teeth. That's why I sound like the idiot that I do. But at any rate, you know, thank you guys for watching. I super duper appreciate it. Until the next one, y'all take care, stay safe. I'll see you on the flip side. Demon is out.